Hey, Kevin Kuzia again from fierceandmighty.com, relentlessly pushing yourself forward, trying to keep with the vlogging theme as of right now, trying to actually make it a little bit better. I got a little feedback from one of my consultants that the problem that they had is that all the angles on this were sort of like straight up. I don't know if like half the time you were basically staring up into my nostrils trying to concentrate on what I was saying, so trying to do something a little different, trying to improve the lighting a little bit. After having a post on there with me in a shirt and tie, this is obviously a little less jazzy for you, baseball hat backwards and sweaty shirt. Reason for the sweaty shirt, I actually just finished lifting. And in the midst of lifting, I had a bit of a moment of an epiphany, if you will. And I thought, well, this will probably make for at least a decent topic to chat about on the vlog. And the topic really has to go with how you sometimes have to take stock of things, take many steps backwards so that you can really go forward. And a good example of that is, I'm going to take a lifting example. So over this past summer, I had a personal best on squats, and it was 500 pounds. So as I'm about to transition into the video right here, you'll see me in the midst of actually doing it. So, there you have it, in all its magical glory and all the rage that followed afterwards. Because as you can imagine, doing something like that, I was a little fired up about it. And pretty proud, pretty happy, all of the above. Now, for those of you who probably aren't big into lifting, you probably didn't see anything all that strange about it, outside of a grown man screaming by himself in the basement like a complete loon and potentially needing a straitjacket and being locked away in a padded room for a while. But for anybody who is into lifting, you know, the big question becomes, did I actually go down deep enough? And I think it's close. I'm not going to be too worried about it on that particular lift at that moment. I'm still very proud of the moment. But it really got me thinking about the fact of, am I really doing things the proper way on that? Am I really doing enough, or am I really cutting short on a corner to achieve something that is this number that I've been chasing for such a long time? And in the process of doing that, I've kind of reconfigured everything, as I've mentioned in one of probably my recent posts. I'm redoing exactly how I'm approaching some of my lifting, switching things around, improving my form, improving my structure, improving my approach. And that's really resulted in a few different things. One, my motivation is much better. Two, I find myself really, I think, doing things in a better way that's both healthier for me and better for me in the long run. But here's the funny thing that happened. Today's lifting session, if you looked at the pure numbers of what I did, right, so I did cleans, which is essentially, if you don't know, grabbing a barbell from the floor and moving it up to your shoulder height as fast and as quickly as possible. You know, there's more particulars to it than that. And then squats. And there was nothing about today's squats that would have been anywhere within the zip code of what I was able to do last summer for the 500 pounds. Less weight, not nearly as many reps as I was able to do on it, but the difference was I knew I was doing better. I knew the form was better. I knew I wasn't cheating myself. I knew that by taking those steps back, restructuring how I was doing things, in the long run, one, I think I'm going to be much healthier, but two, I think my performance will end up being better. In the meantime, I've got to eat my ego, because the poundage is completely different. And I'm a little remarkably surprised that I was able to eat it as much as I did, because despite the fact of the weight being less and the numbers being less and everything just being all that's a technical term, by the way, sorry to use all the jargon, off like that, it was better. And I feel better, and I actually feel profoundly much more motivated about what I'm going to do going forward, and that I have chosen the right path to move forward. So sometimes you have to take, you know, a step back to take 2 steps forward. In my particular case, I might have taken 3 or 4 steps back, and slowly the steps will come forward, and it's probably going to take me a little bit longer to get, you know, if I took 3 back, to get 4 ahead. But I also know I'm going to get 4 ahead. I know what I was able to do. I know where I'm going to be able to get to again. And I think that whereas I had 500 last year, I don't see why I can't get past it again in the future and actually doing it a whole lot better. It really just became a matter of swallowing a bit of my own pride and realizing, you know what, it was pretty close, and maybe I really need to stop and think to myself, but was it close enough? So a little something for everybody to think about. You got to sometimes take a lot of steps backward in order to move a little bit forward. And despite all the pride I have in that achievement, I won't take anything away from it. I'm not going to think that I cheated myself out of anything in it. I'm looking forward to the day when I can actually probably do it a little bit better and really think to myself, this is an even bigger achievement than before. So, like I say a lot of times in this blog, it's all about perspective. Sometimes you just need to step back a little bit to understand that for yourself. So again, Kevin Kuzia, fierceandmighty.com. Relentlessly push yourself forward. Thanks.